Sony Ericsson Xylo and Sony Ericsson Spiro, expected third quarter 2010. One of a pair of Walkman phones, the Sony Ericsson Xylo, and its sibling, the Sony Ericsson Spiro, are, by our reckoning, the 34th and 35th Walkman phones from Sony Ericsson, and the first additions to this range since the w205, announced a year ago. Both phones are fairly low-end, and really just seem to exist in order to refresh the rather dated Walkman phones currently in the range. Given the modest specifications and the somewhat tarnished brand, we don't imagine that these will be hugely popular. Sony Ericsson Spiro. This simplest of the two phones, the Spiro, is a dual-band GSM device with a 2.2-inch 240 by 320 pixel display, a 2-megapixel camera, FM radio, and a Facebook and Twitter application, in addition to the latest version of the Walkman player. There's a 3.5mm audio socket, stereo Bluetooth, and microSD memory, all in a package weighing just 90 grams. In truth, the Spiro is not terribly sophisticated, and is possibly best regarded as a Walkman that can also make phone calls and do some basic web browsing. It should be cheap, but we don't know exactly how cheap it will be. Sony Ericsson say that the Spiro should be available during the third quarter of 2010 in two shades of black plus pink and green colours. Sony Ericsson Xylo. A step up from the Spiro, the Sony Ericsson Xylo is a 3G device with a 3.2 megapixel camera and a larger 2.6-inch 240 by 320 pixel scratch-resistant display. The Xylo adds an FM radio to the Walkman player, but there's no mention of a 3.5mm audio jack, although it does support stereo Bluetooth. The Xylo also supports Microsoft Exchange synchronization and could talk directly to Facebook, Twitter and Picasa. There's no GPS, but it can geotag photos, presumably using the mobile cell location as a guide. There's also a web browser and an email client too. Talk time on 3G is 3.5 hours with up to 16 days standby time, and the Xylo weighs 115 grams. It should be available during the third quarter in black, silver and pink colours. It's not the world's most exciting phone, although the animated cassette tape in the Walkman player is very cool. If your priorities are listening to music, making calls and some basic interaction with the web, then it might be worth considering.